y'all need to do before is give me the teddy bear, because what y'all not finna do is scare me. I'm finna grab my teddy bear. One sec.
Imagine needing a teddy bear at this ripe age.
Oh no, she didn't.
Okay. I have Romello, and this one didn't get named, but we're gonna call him LaMelo. Romello and LaMelo. Named by my sister. Okay.
Mike here, and in today's video we begin a new series on the channel as we return to the world of Fazbear Entertainment with a look at the history behind each and every mainline Five Nights at Freddy's game. Last year I put together a detailed rundown of the animatronics inhabiting Scott Cawthon's terrifying yet captivating universe, and now we turn to the games themselves. Each episode will look at a particular game, in this case the original FNAF, and then touch on the following associated elements. Development history, story and gameplay, and finally, Easter eggs and secrets. Along the way I'll also sprinkle in a few interesting trivia facts too. This will be a basic template for each episode of the series as we cover everything from the original FNAF all the way up to Security Breach when it arrives later this year. So sit back, relax, and let's travel back in time to the year 2014 when a horror game legend was born. In order to understand how Five Nights at Freddy's came to be, we first need to understand why. Scott Cawthon is the creator and mastermind behind the entire franchise, but while most of the internet knows him for his work in the horror genre, it wasn't always like this for Scott. He came from humble beginnings, often working on independent games with wholesome family-friendly values. In fact, Cawthon's very first game was a project affectionately titled Doofus, which he made.
So this man went from making kid-friendly games to scare in their sleep and giving them nightmares. Riddle me that. How does that happen? What happened for you to go from making ABC games to making Final Destination, basically? And still using things that are attractive. Matt Pat from This Game Theory has a good playlist where break down the full story. See, Alpha, I only wanted to do one. Not y'all trying to give me 30. How long is the list? That's me. Because I don't get scared like this other than like Final Destination. Other scariest things, I go to sleep. Because I don't want to see it in the first place. Okay, let me stop talking for a second.
Made as a teenager in the early 90s. Believe it or not, this colourful and simplistic arcade game was made on Click Team Fusion, the same game engine as FNAF would eventually adopt itself. Back then, it was known as Click and Play. From this kooky dino shooter, Scott would eventually move on to a series of games created via the use of pre-rendered visuals. These include Chipper & Sons Lumber Company and Desolate Hope, both of which were criticised for containing creepy animatronic-esque character designs despite being aimed at children, especially true in the case of Chipper.
Okay, so I already said that. So he started off with the children's games and escalated to other things, but still used things to attract children. That's kind of different, sir. Or watch the episode when you complete the game. I don't know if I'm gonna complete it, depending on how this goes. Different. That's the word I wanted to use.
Fun fact, Scott Cawthon created over 60 games before...
Huh?
I said we finished games around here, bro.
Well, I ain't gonna be shady, but that man that we like did that I was watching. I don't even remember the game. What was the game? I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna confirm. But there was one game he did not finish, and I was super mad.
He did like okay. This is you. This is you. Okay, we gotta finish. We gotta finish all the way up to 4 at least.
4. Then I gotta do In the Pit too.
Well, In the Pit is like Hmm. That's like a couple games later, but you can do In the Pit also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just rock till Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Okay.
At least.
All right. I'm gonna start back with it.
Finally hitting mainstream popularity and acclaim with a Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which he has focused on ever since. So you could say by this point he had well and truly honed his craft. Now, while these early days of struggling to create a successful game series may have looked bleak for Scott, the criticism he received about the rather creepy animations for his character renders in Chipper and Sons were in fact what led to FNAF's creation. Scott was reportedly ready to quit game creation altogether, but decided to turn the criticism to his advantage and play to his strengths. He would create a game where family-friendly mascots turned evil and scary animations were essential, dipping his proverbial toe in the waters of a genre he'd previously shied away from: horror games. Hence the birth of Five Nights at Freddy's and its cast of terrifying animatronics.
You want to play?
Okay, what we're not gonna do is have some ads.
Five Nights at Freddy's was first submitted to the Steam Greenlight program on June 13th, 2014. A Kickstarter launched the following day, but was cancelled soon after. Perhaps as Scott realised he could get the game made with his own budget. But a fun fact is, before removing this funding campaign, it did reveal an interesting tidbit about the central antagonist Freddy Fazbear. He was originally simply to be called Freddy Bear, a play on Teddy Bear. Alongside the Steam Greenlight page and Kickstarter, a trailer was also launched over on Scott's YouTube channel to give players a sneak peek at the concept for the game.
Yo, this man is really weird. Like, as much as okay, so let me just say this. My camera again. Oh my gosh. Anyways, the guy is weird. Because why?
Why your camera freeze with you just like giving a dead face, bro?
Perfect. Okay. And let me get
Yes, Lord. You already know what it is, Sam. You know.
period. Okay.
Check it out.
During the day, it's the place of joy.
Fun fact, you may have noticed Foxy does not appear in this trailer and it is Bonnie who runs down the hallway in his place. Now it could be that Foxy was a late addition to the game, or perhaps his model wasn't ready to show yet, or the animatronic mechanics changed during development. Either way, it's a cool little change that now remains exclusive to this trailer. Like many of Scott's early FNAF games, it didn't take long for the announcement of Five Nights at Freddy's to the game's final release. A demo launched on July 20th.
Wait. Why is he making the face like he trying to give a girl some candy to talk to him? You gonna give me some candy? If I give you some candy, you gonna give me some candy? I got these flowers for you if you give me some.
It's a little something like that.
Released on Steam shortly after on August 18th of 2014. An Android and iPhone version came the same year on August 25th and September 11th respectively. The game opened to massive success, becoming an internet phenomenon, and this was in some part due to the overwhelming support from the YouTube community. Notable playthroughs from creators such as Markiplier and PewDiePie added to the game's initial traction, and over the following years, FNAF transitioned from cult indie classic into one of the most popular horror game series of all time.
Now that I'm looking at his face, he never got me yet.
We've covered how FNAF came to be, but maybe there are some of you out there in the audience asking, well, what is this game and what the heck is it all about? In this section of the video, I'll quickly answer those burning questions. However, it must be stated we will not dwell too much on speculation and theory talk. That opens a whole can of worms and could lead to an entire video by itself. Instead, we will focus on simply the information given to us by the game at the time of its release. So here goes. We take on the role of a mysterious security guard named Mike Schmidt, a character since speculated to be Michael Afton. This information is given to us upon the completion of the game, where we see a paycheck featuring said name. Fun fact, the amount on this payslip roughly corresponds to the going rate of pay back in 1993. So while we are not given a definitive year that FNAF takes place in, we can speculate the mid-90s, and given the decor and technology, this seems accurate. As the title suggests, we work the night shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a sort of Chuck E. Cheese type establishment, fun for the whole family, complete with bad food and even worse entertainment in the form of creepy animatronics.
The business world was rocked today by the merger of the Peanut Butter Group and Chocolatey Corp.
Jif PBC, it's the flavor merger of the year, the decade. Buy, buy, buy.
Jif peanut butter and chocolate flavored spread. It's that Jif'ing good.
We speak up for ourselves in all kinds of ways. I don't want the pill. Nope.
However, unlike Chuck E. Cheese, these particular robots are possessed by the spirits of several missing children, and now roam the halls of the pizzeria by night, looking to cram any humans they detect into endoskeletons, as remarked by our only companion, Phone Guy.
So just be aware, the characters do tend to wander a bit. They're left in some kind of free roaming mode at night. Something about their servos locking up if they get turned off for too long.
Each of the 5 nights we spend at the pizzeria contain a phone conversation with this mysterious caller. They start jolly enough, but eventually devolve into something far more sinister and creepy.
Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits. Like they're, you know... Oh no.
Oh, so
Fun
that's
fact,
95.
Phone Guy is actually voiced by creator Scott Cawthon himself, and appears in several FNAF games, as we will see as the series continues. Very little is known about Phone Guy, other than he is also an employee of Fazbear Entertainment, and seems to meet a sticky end before our arrival. The rest of the story is pretty vague, and this has led to the creation of many fan theories which attempt to explain what exactly is happening here. We now know the missing children referenced by newspaper clippings throughout the game were abducted and killed within the backroom of the pizzeria by William Afton, the man who designed and built the animatronics their spirits now possess. Afton hid the bodies of his victims inside these suits, causing the children to bond with their animatronic coffins and then haunt the building by nightfall. So the objective...
I need to take a pause. Because the way he was staring at me, I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm watching Solar Opera, Family Guy, American Dad or something. I'm going to have nightmares. Got this.
objective is to survive 5 nights, with each becoming progressively harder to see through. Night shifts begin at midnight and end at 6 AM. Successfully finishing a night results in the following sequence.
The money bills, the money bills, the money bills.
Despite Five Nights at Freddy's difficulty being pretty brutal at times, especially for new players who don't fully understand the mechanics, the basic gameplay loop is very simple. Using the mouse, we point and click our way around a camera security system accessed from a tablet in the security office. This tablet can be used to keep track of the various animatronics, making sure they aren't getting too close to our location. If they do, then we must use the electronic doors to the left and right of our room. The wrinkle here is that we have a limited amount of power, and with every action from checking cameras to boarding down doors, our power meter gradually depletes. This means we must only check up on the animatronics and safeguard ourselves when absolutely necessary. Otherwise the power runs down and Freddy says hello. Once all 5 nights are complete, a 6th and 7th night become available as bonus rounds. These are extremely difficult and intended as super challenges for players who want a little more pushback from the game.
Who's gonna do them? It's called 5 nights, not...
Of course, it wouldn't be a FNAF retrospective without a look at the animatronics themselves. As previously mentioned, I have put up a detailed look at each of these characters before, but in the interest of keeping everything together in one place, here is a quick recap of each.
Chica.
What was your name again?
Apparently I need to purchase
Chris,
the YouTube thing, so I don't have to
all my
have
friends
all these
just call me
ads.
Wang Wang.
Chica is a yellow chicken, sometimes confused as a duck.
Hey,
She is
Chica.
always hungry for pizza and even carries a sweet treat known as Mr. Cupcake on a tray as a sidekick of sorts. However, the cupcake only ever appears at the beginning of the night and is not an item Chica brings with her while out hunting. Her
Cause
bib
if you would've
reads,
brought me that
"Let's
cupcake, I would've
eat,"
let you
again
in.
confirming
I
her
like food.
ravenous appetite. During the day, Chica was the backup singer for the Fazbear Band, as she states in her portion of the Showtime song.
Hey, I'm Chica, the lady of the group. My singing is a treat.
So sweet.
But keep an eye on your pizza.
'Cause I'm a bird who likes to eat. Nom, 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 nom.
During each night, Chica will attack from the right side of the office. She can often be heard clattering about in the kitchen, which is a good way to detect her presence.
I've been calling Bonnie hungry, but your shirt says let me.
If we allow
I'm
Chica to
confused.
reach the office and don't close the door before referencing our camera once more, then the following jump scare plays out. In terms of her origins, Chica's design seems to be inspired by Chuck E. Cheese
see
mascot
that.
Helen Henny. This
can
makes
see that.
sense, as the restaurant chain was a known influence for the FNAF games, and so their characters naturally feed into this. Both Helen Henny and Chica are backup singers in their respective bands. Some have also concluded that Chica may have taken design cues from an early McDonald's character called Birdie the Early Bird. There is certainly a similarity for sure. Another inspiration which seems very plausible is the character of Chica from The Chica Show, who is also an overtly happy yellow chicken.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Bonnie is a purple rabbit who, despite the name, is indeed male. As you can see from his instrument of choice, Bonnie is band guitarist and
Always in the
proclaims as
goddamn
much in
kitchen.
his Showtime song.
Bonnie's my name. I'm hopping along with floppy ears and a cottontail. My guitar is blazing. This rabbit's hair raising. Just listen to me wail. Take it, Bonnie.
Bonnie always attacks from the left side of the office, moving gradually closer and often hiding in the nearby janitor closet. If he manages to get inside the office, Bonnie will not immediately grant the player a game over screen. Rather, he lays in wait until we bring up our tablet once more and then pounces with the following jump scare. Here are some facts about Bonnie. While developing
Bonnie's
the
jump
game,
scare is
Scott
the
Cawthon
worst.
mentioned that Bonnie the Rabbit was his most feared animatronic. In fact, he even had nightmares about him. This was mainly due to Scott using Bonnie as the placeholder jump scare for all characters in the early stages of development. He even stated that he never really found the other three all that scary. Bonnie's origin is believed to derive from Chuck E. Cheese mascot Mr. Munch, and also guitarist Jasper T. Jowls.
This is ruining my childhood.
Next up, we have everybody's favourite pirate, Foxy. A red fox with damage up and down his body, revealing sections of the endoskeleton beneath. Foxy has a hook for a hand and wears an eye patch over his right eye. Unlike the other animatronics, Foxy doesn't roam around the pizzeria by night. Instead, he peeks out from behind his curtain in Pirate Cove and slowly creeps to the edge of his camera feed. If we allow him to leave the camera, then we must quickly close the door to the left of the office and switch to the hallway camera to send Foxy back to his cove. When switching to the left hall camera, we see the freaky fox sprinting full pelt towards us, something I personally have always found quite unnerving. Sometimes we can hear Foxy singing a rather strange tune from behind his curtain. Take a listen. It is unknown why this singing occurs, making it all the more unsettling. Here are some Foxy facts. Foxy was in large part a creation of one of Scott's children. According to one of Scott's sons, Foxy was created during a road trip to visit family in New York. Scott would ask his children for input into the character designs to add a little extra spookiness to them. Scott also added to these comments by suggesting the reason why Foxy's body is so torn up was due to him being hard to model on a bumpy car ride. Who knows if this is true or simply a joke, but it's undeniable that
the most problematic character was created by you and your sons and supposed to be a figment of their imagination and created by them about them. That's kind of weird. So did you not like your children? Let me not say that. Let me not. Intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts.
Foxy's origins are interesting. Foxy is also the only character in FNAF history to date to not jump scare the player by attacking directly into camera, instead appearing in the doorway. In terms of inspiration, 3 characters often attributed to Foxy's design are Chuck E. Cheese character Foxy Colleen, Showbiz Pizza Place's Rolf de Wolf, and most notably the dastardly Foxy Loxy from Disney's 1940. And most related to Foxy's design are Chuck E. Cheese character Foxy Colleen.
I've never seen her before. Foxy Colleen? Foxy Colleen? I mean, her lash is cute. Got a nice little bust down middle part. I've never seen her before. I don't like that lip on her either. We're gonna work. You cute though.
Foxy Colleen, Showbiz Pizza Place's Rolf de Wolf, and most notably the dastardly Foxy Loxy from Disney's 1943 short animation Chicken Little. The 4th animatronic is of course Freddy Fazbear himself, star of the show at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As he moves about, we can hear Freddy making spine-chilling laughing sounds. These are actually the sounds of a girl giggling, but slowed right down.
That's him?
How long has it been for?
Freddy becomes active from night 3 onwards, and it is imperative we keep our camera on him as often as possible. This is because Freddy can only move when we aren't looking at him, so regularly checking the camera feed is a good way to hold him back. If Freddy reaches the hallway outside of our office, he will never leave, meaning we must now keep the doors closed from this point on, and most times this results in the power failing and a game over occurring. Freddy greeting us with the following scare. There are several fun facts about Freddy Fazbear, so let's list off a few quickly. The music we hear while Freddy patrols is a rendition of George Bizet's Toreador song from the opera Carmen.
Carmen, I like Carmen.
Freddy's appearance seems to take influence from both the 1977 classic version of Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza Place mascot Billy Bob, both wearing a hat and bow tie with similar coloration and of course lead members of the band. Freddy was of course the main singer while on stage.
My name is Freddy, I'm the singer in the band. Got a hat and a big bow tie. I'm a big brown bear, but don't be scared. I'm a real fun-loving guy.
Are you?
Scott Cawthon originally planned for Freddy to be far more elusive and mysterious, only moving from the stage when the power went out completely. However, as development continued, Scott re-evaluated the situation and decided he wanted to make Freddy a far more prominent part of the adventure. Freddy will at times flash up on screen as the night guard experiences hallucinations. During these hallucinations, if we pause the action, we see Freddy has eerily realistic and bloodshot eyes. You may notice Freddy has faint handprints on his head and chin. These are likely from the children of the pizzeria, but could also be the bloody handprint of a child William Afton stuffed inside Freddy's suit. A chilling thought. There is one last animatronic to cover, one you might not ever see, even if you've completed FNAF multiple times. A yellow version of Freddy known as Golden Freddy. It is speculated that Golden Freddy contains the ghost of a young girl named Cassidy, yet another of William Afton's victims.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
In order to access Golden Freddy in the game, we must be extremely fortunate, or unfortunate depending on your perspective. There is a 1 in 100,000 chance of spotting a Golden Freddy poster on the wall of Hall 2B. If we sight this poster, Cassidy can be heard laughing. Switch back to the office at this point and Golden Freddy will now be sat directly before us. A spooky vision that insta-kills the player unless we quickly bring the tablet back up and look away. Fun fact, during one of Phone Guy's conversations with the night guard, he references a gruesome incident at the pizzeria known as the Bite of 87.
They used to be allowed to walk around during the day too, but then there was the Bite of 87. Yeah. It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know?
So it's interesting to note that if we input the AI levels to 1987 on night 7, then Golden Freddy will jump scare us and crash our game.
Dare to smell Nair like never before. Worship yourself. Nair.
This next section is dedicated to the secrets and Easter eggs found throughout Five Nights at Freddy's. The first of these can be activated straight off the bat from the security office. See the celebrate poster over here? Well, clicking Freddy's nose rewards us with a satisfying honking noise. When switching to camera 5, the employees only room, there is a 1 in 20 chance of the animatronic heads and endoskeleton all staring ominously into camera. Likewise, when checking in on camera 1A, the animatronic stage, at the beginning of each night, a rare instance sometimes triggers where all 3 robot critters become aware we are watching them and gaze right back at us. Every now and again, when switching to certain cameras in the hallways of the pizzeria, phantom posters will sometimes appear. These display newspaper clippings which speak of a hidden backstory we touched on earlier, involving William Afton and the missing kids. There are 4 of these newspapers, and they read as follows. Kids vanish at local pizzeria, bodies not found. 2 local children were reportedly lured into a back room during the late hours of operation at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza on the night of June 26th. While video surveillance identified the man responsible and led to his capture the following morning, the children themselves were never found and are presumed dead. Police think the suspect dressed as a company mascot to earn the children's trust. 5 children now reported missing, suspect convicted. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where a man dressed as a cartoon mascot lured them into a back room. While the suspect has been charged, the bodies themselves were never found. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has been fighting an uphill battle ever since to convince families to return to the pizzeria. It's a tragedy. Local pizzeria threatened with shutdown over sanitation. Local pizzeria Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has been threatened again with shutdown by the health department over reports of a foul odour coming from the much loved animal mascots. Police were contacted when parents reportedly noticed what appeared to be blood and mucus around the eyes and mouths of the mascots. One parent likened them to reanimated carcasses. Local pizzeria said to close by year's end. After a long struggle to stay in business after the tragedy that took place there many years ago, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has announced that it will close by year's end. Despite a long search for a buyer, companies seem unwilling to be associated with the company. These characters will live on, in the hearts of the kids. These characters will live on, stated a CEO. What makes these reports creepier is another rare secret, again a poster that can appear on the wall of camera 4A. It shows a group of crudely sketched children, all screaming and wide-eyed. These are almost certainly Afton's victims calling out from beyond the grave. One final Easter egg you might catch on the very same wall is the mysterious line, "It's me." Again, this seems to be from the ghosts of the fallen children, in particular the child trapped within Freddy Fazbear. Finally, on rare occasions after receiving a game over screen, or booting into the game for the first time, we see an ominous face appear. The face belongs to Bonnie, and sits on our screen for approximately 10 seconds, before the eyes eventually light up. We then find ourselves back at the main menu. This super creepy Easter egg is randomly generated and has only a 0.1% chance of appearing.
And then now that you got it, so I was playing this on.
As we close the curtain on today's video, let's take a moment to look at how Five Nights at Freddy's has evolved after launching. To date, the game has become available on a variety of platforms outside of PC and mobile. It was remastered by ClickTeam and launched on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, where a new generation of players can now experience the animatronic terrors for themselves. The franchise was also purchased for movie rights by Warner Bros. Studios back in 2015, and since then Blumhouse Productions has signed up to adapt it, with a script currently in place and tentative movie release of 2022 scheduled. There has also been a sea of toys, books, clothing and other merchandise too, which is a testament to just how popular FNAF has become. But more importantly, there have been no less than 7 more mainline games to date, and these will be the topics of future videos as this new series continues. But with that, we have reached the end of today's video, and this in-depth retrospective of the original Five Nights at Freddy's game. I hope you found this video both entertaining and informative. Remember to circle back in a few weeks for episode 2, where we'll dive into a fan favourite as we look at FNAF 2. In the meantime, if you did enjoy watching today, please remember to hit that like button, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
Okay. Why do I feel like I'm going to be playing more scary games and horror games? And not even that. Y'all got me wanting to watch. Have y'all ever seen like the little horror things on here? The horror stories? Stories from Wendy's, McDonald's, KFC, from being on Tinder. I might watch those again. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Or the SPC factor or files. Oh my gosh. Those are interesting. I might do some reviews for those. But I gotta do it like on a Friday, on a day I can stay up and not have to worry about going to sleep, because I can't. Yeah, I wasn't even trying to do this, Earl, and then it's your fault. It's definitely your fault. But y'all, we played a game. We watched some lore. The next game we're playing is not going to be horror. I'm going to finish this, maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week or something, I don't know. But we're going to finish this, but we're going to play a fun game, something that, you know, makes me happy, a cozy game, Animal Crossing. Thank you, Sam. But thank you all for coming to watch me play. Come back next time and hang out with BJ the Tech Bae. Peace.
Follow this girl. Okay, subscribe. I don't know your account name. We gotta restart that. We gotta refocus.